finally the day. We're gonna start this thing up the first time in 6 months. Sorry I didn't get a whole lot of videos of the last couple things we buttoned up, but I want to be honest, I got a little excited and it takes a lot more time to film while I'm trying to do something. I need this car running, so just kind of fast forward. But if you want to walk over here and I'll fast forward you through what we did. Cameraman right behind you here, Jack, fabricated these brackets. I think he did a pretty dang good job for the oil cooler. Got all these ran. Got the sandwich plate installed. I trimmed the timing cover to accept that because I didn't want to use the razor adapter thing. Of course, the front mount's all installed. The rim speed cold air intake is installed. I just got the, if you look right on here, you see here's the original sending unit, here's the aftermarket sending unit. I've got the pressure gauge installed in the car. Right up here next to my ethanol. Ethanol is the first one, and then oil pressure is the second one. So we've already turned this motor over a couple times. Of course, I filled it with oil. We spun it over a lot. Got some oil flowing through the motor, hopefully enough so we can start her up. We got gas in it. I had to drain all the gas out because we had old E50 in there. So we just put some fresh 93 in there. Last thing I gotta do is I gotta throw a tune on this thing and we can crank it up. Well, here we are, quite a ways in the future. So, when we went to first start it up, we found an oil leak. It was leaking from this fitting on the oil cooler, and I took it off, put it back on probably 8 times, could not fix the leak. And I had a non-thermostatic sandwich plate on hand, threw that on there, it fixed the problem. So I had to get this warrantied out, put this one on. We haven't had issues since. However, the oil pressure sending unit that went down there, sorry, I can't see it. The sending unit splitter that I had problems with that was leaking. And then I ended up somehow managing to strip out that port. So I ended up just putting a plug in there. I got the, re-tapped it out, put a plug down there. I am now, if you just unplug the dummy switch, it actually doesn't turn the light on. So I left that unplugged. I don't have the original sending unit down there. And I just have a 90-degree MPT, 1/8 MPT right there into the sending unit right here, and I'm just running the gauge and not the dummy sensor. That doesn't really do me any good anyway, because if that light comes on, I'm already toast. So I monitor my oil pressure with the gauge anyway. So it's been a few weeks since I got it running. I got it through the whole tuning process. It's fully tuned now. Car runs great. It's been a lot of fun. First drive along here for you. So the car is tuned on 93 and E50, and then on E50 it makes 430 to the wheels, and then 400 torque. He did turn the torque up more from last time. I've got Ford engine obviously in this thing. Feels pretty good. It has more torque down low. It did move the power band up a lot higher that I've noticed. With the stock turbo in 93, it always dropped off when it got, it was past like 5,500, it would just drop. When I put it on E50 with the stock turbo, it was a lot better. But with this ported turbo, it really helps fill out that last few hundred RPM there. So I can run it all the way to redline now, and it feels great. It does have a little bit more turbo lag with the front mount and then the ported turbo, but it doesn't bother me really. It took me some getting used to, just, you know, first few hundred miles of it, but it's worth the trade-off in my opinion, to have the cool air temperatures and then the better power up high. I still daily drive this car and it feels great. Daily drive doesn't bother me that much to have it all, or to have it, you know, power band a little bit later. Sounds great. I have the Grimspeed intake now. I used to have the COD SF intake, and it was a lot louder than the Grimspeed one that I have on now. And honestly, I prefer this one. It's not quite as obnoxious. You can still hear the intake, of course. You can still hear the turbo noises, but it's just not quite as obnoxious there. And then the bypass valve, I've got the same bypass valve as I did when I had the top mount intercooler. But since swapping that over, it actually flutters a little bit when I get it to like 2 psi. Let off the throttle in like 3rd, 4th, 5th gear. I don't really like flutter because it's not really good for it, but it doesn't do it a whole lot. It only does it like right in that like little bit of range of RPM and, you know, boost pressure. So I'm just, you know, that's not really much I can do about it anyway. So it's fine. It'll be all right. Like I said, it does sound pretty cool. But when I go from like a full throttle pull and I, you know, let off, it does blow off normally. It doesn't flutter when I do that like that. But I gotta say, for what I paid to get that turbo redone, I definitely think it's worth it. It does help fill out the car a lot more and make it more enjoyable to drive for sure. At the very least, doing ethanol, but so as I said, this car is making 430 real horsepower. It made 390 before when I had it top mount intercooler set up in the stock turbo, so I gained about 40 since then. My tuner was saying that there is more left in the fuel system for me to go higher, but right now it's the intake manifold that's kind of restricting me, because I've got the stock intake manifold on it still. I'm just gonna leave it for right now. I think this car feels great where it is. It's, you know, 430 feels fine for a daily, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. But if you do buy this turbo and you think, oh well, I can only get 430 out of it, no, it can go higher than that. It's just my current setup is preventing me from going higher at the moment. So if you're planning on, you know, going for over 450, I would probably do the BRZ manifold, or I think Cosworth makes one for the FA20. But I would definitely go aftermarket on that as well. Enjoyed those driving shots. I'll be getting some more here soon and posting on the channel. Hopefully taking this thing to the mountains before too long. I do need to put that little Perrin sump restrictor on this thing. It does smoke quite a bit. I don't have one yet, so got that coming. I'll be doing an install video on that before too long here. All right, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please give a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss what's coming. I'll catch y'all later.